What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Perfect Cell, and I am back with another gaming related video, okay? And this time I'm going to do a little something different, but before I explain to you what it's going to be, I just want to say this. This is not going to be a video game recognition video, as you can clearly see in the title below. I will still do video game recognitions and other recognitions of that nature. However, the reason why I'm doing something a little different, because I want to switch it up a little bit. I don't want to do recognitions and playlists all the time, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and speaking of which, I actually made a pie chart because I got so many ideas brewing in my head. I made me a pie chart. I pretty much spin my pen on the pie chart, and whatever the pointer lands on, that's the topic I'm going to talk about. And just last time I spun the pen on the pie chart, it landed on the video gaming topic. So I'm going to be talking about a video game, but it's not going to be a recognition video game video. It's going to be on something different. And for y'all who follow me on Instagram, y'all know what I'm talking about with the pie chart and all of this other stuff. Now, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do that right now. I'll put my Instagram name in the description below. It's the Black Ghost. All right. So now that we got all of that underway, let's get into the topic at hand. So the video is going to be on the countdown of my top 5 favorite video games based off of movies and TV shows, okay? Yes, y'all heard it right. It's going to be a top 5 instead of a top 10. And the reason because of that is because, I haven't really found that many video games based off of movies that I was interested in, or TV shows for that matter too. But these 5 games right here, man, I remember these 5 games and I could not get enough of them as a kid. But anyways, with no further ado, let's get into my top 5 favorite video games based off of movies and TV shows. Number 5, Shrek 2. Oh man, I remember playing this game a whole lot with my brother, man. And I just gotta tell you, those were some good old times. In my opinion, this was the golden age of video games, and pretty much a whole lot of games that I played and pretty much had throughout my childhood, I couldn't get enough of, and I really loved a whole lot. And this game happened to be one of them. Now, even though this video game is based off of the movie Shrek 2, it pretty much added some aspects of the game from the movie that we didn't really get out of the movie. And not only did it add some factions on the game, but it also adds some characters that we didn't used to seeing, you know what I'm saying? All of that, it made the visual pretty neat, in my opinion. And I love the gameplay because you can pretty much play as any character that's present during the scene. And also, guess what? You can switch characters without having to, get out of the game and switching characters. That is, of course, you're playing with 4 players. In that case, whatever character you got, that's what you got. But if you're playing with another person or just playing by yourself, you can switch to different characters. Not to mention, each character in this game is very unique, that they have their own little special moves and what have you. Guess what? Some of their special moves are very, very useful to the game to advance further into the story. Donkey might do his little donkey kick and kick down the tree so we can pass over the tree and what have you. And Shrek, he might lift something up and it could be helpful to the level or what have you. And Princess Fiona, she can slow down time because, why not, right? But yeah, man, I love Shrek 2, the video game. I wish they make more games like this, because I really love this game a lot. Number 4, 24, Kobe. Nah, I'm just kidding. It ain't about Kobe Bryant. I wish it was, though. Shoot, rest in peace to the Black Mamba, by the way. But anyways, if y'all know what 24 is, I don't really know much about 24, to be honest. I think it's about the CIA or something, and they're supposed to protect the president. Like I said, man, I don't know nothing about the plot, all right? But never mind that. I love the game, man. And I remember it like it's yesterday because my mother, my mom, she was a huge fan of 24 series, man. And I remember she got me the game 24, and I'm thinking to myself man, I don't watch this TV show. But when I actually played the game, I actually enjoyed the game. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not one of those games that I'm dying to get again if I see it. But the memories I had with this game was very exceptional. Like I said, man, I don't know much about the show because, well, I ain't really watch it like that. Well, I ain't even watch it at all. I'm no cap. But I'm guessing that the game kind of emulates the show a little bit. Now, the gameplay third-person shooting is pretty cool, although it kind of has with its flaws as it has like inverted controls, which really, you can't really adjust them at all. It has like a bullseye target feature. It has a gun selection. Basically, what I'm saying is that like, even though it's a little flaws in it, the game is really worthwhile. Also, you have the little car chase, and it has like a little pursuit meter. If you get too far from the suspect when you're car chasing them, then you fail the mission, of course. Now, I know they have like a remake of 24. I don't know if it's still running or not, but I will say this though. If they ever make a sequel to this game, I think they can really like make some really good improvements on it. Not saying the game was bad, but hey man, it has some potential, man. So you never know. Number 3, Blade 2. Here we have another game that I played before I even seen the movie. Now, at the time, I've seen the first Blade and I've seen Blade Trinity. But I have never seen Blade 2. But when I played the game, I fell more in love with the Daywalker, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Now, I will admit the graphics were kind of But hey, man, it was 2002. So cut the game some slack, bro. And of course, like most movie-based games, they want to add extra, you know, not to make it too much of a replica of the movie. Now, I don't really understand why they don't want to make the game like the movie, but hey, do them, I guess. Now, I gotta say this. The movement of the controls, it is a bit stalky. But hey, you'll forget all about that when you get into combat because, bro, this is some of the best fight choreography I ever seen in a video game, man. Now, it's not like Jet Li's Rise of Honor, but it's very close enough to it though. And also want to mention is this. When you finish a mission, you can unlock different various items from weapons to ammunition to health and extra adrenaline. And also I want to say this too. Once your adrenaline gets all the way up, you can use Blade Sword. When you use the sword, man, that is some of the best stuff ever, man. You just chopping everybody up and chopping everybody up. It kind of reminds me of the conquest mode of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where Taven, like if you get Taven an axe, he just cuts everybody up. I love it. Yeah, man, love the Blade series, and not to mention, I love the Blade game too. I wish they would have made another Blade game just like this, but hey, I'm content with this game. I love it a lot. Number 2, Celebrity Deathmatch. Now, in my 25 years on this earth, I only played this game like, maybe like 2 times. And I already love it. And I can't wait to get it again when I see it again. Because this game was off the chain with its violence and its comedies, comedic relief and all of that other stuff that spawned from MTV's creations. And I remember watching this show at my uncle's house because he had like 500 channels. Hey, that was a lot of channels back in those days, man. Yeah, man, this show had me cracking up like Chanel West Coast. So this game right here is pretty much like any other fighting game of that era. Or you had your little arcades, your little tournaments, your little versus moves and what have you, you know what I'm saying? And all I gotta say is this, next to Killer Instincts, this is one of the best games that's kind of a replica of Mortal Kombat. And even though it kind of emulates Mortal Kombat, it has its own style in a way, you know, in my opinion. Because, well, it is its own brand at the end of the day. You know, because like they all in the ring, they all wailing on each other, doing wrestling moves and getting like ridiculous stuff to like kill people, shoot and dismantle them and whatnot. You can still fight with your limbs torn off. Like, bro, it was just fun, man. Number 1, Matrix Path of Neo. Man, I really love this game right here. In my opinion, this is the best movie-based game I have ever played. And this is not just the best movie-based game I ever played, but this is my favorite video game of all time. Well, not the favorite video game of all time, but one of my favorites, I mean. But unlike most movie-based games, this game's add-ons, it doesn't dilute the plot, rendering the game pointless. Like, it does have add-ons, don't get me wrong, but it's pretty interesting. You know, it's like missing pieces to the puzzles of the Matrix that you probably were wondering about, you know? But anyways, the plot is about the whole Matrix trilogy. The first Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, and Matrix Revolution. But enough about the plot, let's get into this sick combat, man. This combat has so much variety. The combo system is just out of this world. Like, it has so much variety that I still haven't did all the combos to the game, man. Thing has a whole lot of depth. Man. So much that, man, I already told you, man. Not to mention, this game puts a whole lot of emphasis on the defensive strategy, the speed, and the agility. You can level up in this game as well. It has like a whole bunch of different guns and weapons. Well, the guns was kind of useless. But the weapons usage, like the melee weapons, is badass, bro. This game's attention to detail is very exceptional. But anyways, this concludes this here video. Let me know what you think in the link below. Let me know your top 5 or top 10, whatever movie-based video games. And like always, this is Perfect Cell, and I'm Ghost.
Sweet Mary J, Mary Kate, and Ashley, 2 twins rolled up. I think it was a Saturday.